Issues requiring votes. Votes to amend the fiscal year 24 budget to be in line with the town manager's approved budget as of yesterday, June 12th, 2023.
What's the final number on that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna, so it's about 180,000 roughly shy of our original budget. So we had presented a 4.4% budget increase, and it's just a flat 4. The total operating budget, 46,800,767.
Say that again,
46,800,767. It's near certainty that there'll be additional Chapter 70 money, probably to the tune of 120,000. Or basically, I think the final version will double. We get the minimum aid per pupil.
Yep.
So it's 30. So I had expected it'll probably land on 60. We're doing some lobbying to try to get it to 100. I don't think that's going to happen. I've signaled very strongly to the town that just in the spirit of that lobbying effort and what the legislatures are attempting to do, in the spirit of that, I think the money should come directly to the public schools. I think, town management been very kind of open to that conversation. That being said, given that the budget's set, and the mechanics of that are a little difficult, I still think we need to go back and just talk about whether it's even in the form of additional free cash or additional one-time projects. I feel there's a conversation to be had about that money coming directly to us.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it is right now we have an approved budget for the school committee that's probably in line with what the state's actually gonna fund it,
Yeah.
I mean, to take a lesser budget without knowing what it is, and I mean, it's complicated because we don't meet till August, which is way too late, but from here, what I'm looking at is why would I wanna vote on this? Because the only thing I'm doing is shortchanging the school district if I vote on it tonight. And I'm leaning towards a no vote just because, I think what we put out and approved is more closely to what's with Chapter 70, what's gonna come through.
I was just going to, Chapter 70, in the spirit of transparency, Chapter 70 doesn't nearly cover, our operating budget. But that's why I said it's more in the spirit of what they're trying to do, which I think it's an important conversation. There's so much effort that goes into working with the legislature to funnel more money into K, in our case, pre-K to 12 public education, that if there's additional, that's why I feel strongly that in some form or fashion, it needs to come back to the students.
Well, I mean, I just picked Chapter 70 because that's a big, but there's probably.
No, that's ours, though. Yeah, that's
but
ours.
There's 10 other things that are built in, like Chapter 70, that I'm, circuit breaker and all that fun stuff,
Right.
that. But Chapter 70 is the one that's political and always gets bumped up when it comes to passing the budget.
Yep, direct educational aid. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
If we vote no, just hypothetically, if everybody votes no on this, what does that do for you on your end?
That's what I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know the mechanics of that.
And I mean, in theory, again, it's not a good thing, is he would operate under the budget that we set, which is, per the school committee laws, is that he has to operate under our budget, but you don't really want to be in that quagmire, which was why I would say.
I'm not, so I could go both ways, but I would say this. I think it's been a pretty good budget process. I'm just trying to think practically here. I mean, I wish it were higher. I think we can live with that. I just want to make sure that, and again, so far they've been open to that conversation about making sure that money sort of ends up in schools. I don't know if it'd be ultra productive to vote this down because I don't know what would happen. But I think the conversation is important. Last 2 years, we put a pretty thoughtful level service budget together, and this is, I think, technically less than level service because we just lopped off that 180. Fair, it's a fair budget. I wouldn't call it generous maybe, but it's fair. Yeah.
So realistically, what would you need to cut out of the budget on that 100?
So Katie and I were talking about that today. I mean, so there's only so many places to go, so we'll have to look carefully at our staff turnover to see if it yields any savings from retirees. It's not a guarantee in this job market. We probably most likely have to dip into more revenue offsets, maybe more circuit breaker, for example, what we have sort of in the bank for that. Otherwise, it's just robbing from Peter to pay Paul. It's like taking from supply and equipment lines and that kind of thing. So we'll do it. I mean, we'll get it done. But it's not like we just can snap our fingers and find 180 either. But I'm confident we're going to be fine. I don't think we're whole in the traditional sense of what we laid out, but I think we would be just fine.